Boats, boats, boats! Brisbane Yamaha knows boats.
Hi, I'm Aaron, the owner of Brisbane Yamaha, and today we're going to do a Frontier 530 Frontier, an awesome new boat with the Apex hull. You know, and it's interesting, if I move out of the way, here's my Land Cruiser. Now, it's probably the best Land Cruiser in Australia. Don't show much of it, I don't want people stopping it. Now, but the point is, I've had that Land Cruiser for about 5 years. Cost me a fortune, and guess what? It's awesome. It is a fantastic car because I bought quality, and over the years it's never broken down. It's worked out very inexpensive. Now let me show you something that's quality, that's new, and everyone's talking about it. It still a little bit does my head in. The Apex hull. Now come down here and have a look at this, Dan. It's like a massive 435 Hornet in the old days. You know, this thing rides on confused water. The rougher it is, the softer it is. And you know, today's blowing. I'm going to take you out in the bay in a rough weather because this is a true offshore boat. This is the future of boating. Why? They're beamy, the size, the stability, the dryness and the ride. So let's have a look. We've got those famous Quintrex trailers. This is aluminium. And once again, you know, the old catch and release. These catch and release, we're putting it on a lot of boats. I wouldn't be surprised if a quarter of the boats have a catch and release. Even if you're not just boating by yourself, which it was made for. And we've gone over them before, you know, clip it up, reverse the boat back, it gets hooked. Bring that back down, drive forward, it drops out, drive your boat off. It's a marriage saver. My wife hates launching me. Now, we've got the good winches, and there's a YouTube on catch and release, but we might do something a bit later. You know, but really the Apex, they're beamy, they're high, they're completely different to anything else that's ever been built in the world. Because Quintrex are the biggest biggest aluminium builders of boats in the Southern Hemisphere. You know, only 1 in 4 boats sold in Australia is a Quintrex. That's because it's state of the art. Now have a look at this. Come up and have a look at these side decks, these extrusions here. Look, and we're going to see inside. This is like nothing else. The water just runs off. The sides, 4mm, stretched alloy. You know, it's special alloy that tempers as it's stretch formed to get that shape. Show that shape. No one can do it. Only Quintrex can do it, because only Quintrex have the material. It's not painted. It just costs a lot of money to get a perfect hull like that. And they didn't copy anyone, they just come up with it themselves after years of R&D. Come back here and have a look at the side. Because it's one of those things, and like my 200 series, I had a 100 series before it, and I didn't like the 200 series shape, I liked the 100, right? But now I can't stand the 100, it looks old, and I only like 200 series. And this is like Apex. Yes, I've got a top ender, the Millennium hull, the blade hull, but I tell you what, my next boat's definitely going to be an Apex. And this 530, come down the side, Dan, beautiful colours. It's just a standard boat. You know, we do a few things. We put USBs and aluminium rod holders, so because if you catch a big one out there trawling for a billy, or you catch something that's going to go, I want you not to break. Ladders, big sounders. This has got a Lawrence Elite 9. And of course, look at this little baby. You know, a Yamaha 115. One of my favourites. Dan will put the specs up. They are famous. They use no fuel. They run. They never break down. It is the professional's choice. It's my choice. I love them. They go flat out. They just rev, they last. Anyone that's got one, they had an update in 12 and another one in 14, and since then these things are ballsy. We've got a little test prop on there, you know, hydraulic steering, because at 115 we start putting hydraulic up, you know, and just great fit out from Brisbane Yamaha. Quality ladders. Have a look at this door that I'll be getting in. Have a look at this, Dan. And this is quality, and this isn't what anyone else can do. Look at that door for simplicity. Bam, it's in there. Strong, solid, look at it. To take it out, and then it's a step. It's just ingenious. And that's what Quintrex can do with their R&D department. you know, solid cleats. Now we'll have a quick look inside. And if you're going offshore, you want a live bait tank. You know, I love live bait tank. I call it the biggest flathead with the biggest flathead with the biggest whiting. You get slimies out there, you'll catch any pelagic. You know, whether you're trawling them live, catching billfish, live bait work, jigging. You know, you can store your beer in there if you want. Self-draining decks. Look at that window. Glass window, you know, special. This is our fuel filter just from Brisbane Yamaha, how we do it. So a clear bowl that you can see. Everything's easy to do. Down in here, look at this bit of storage. There's a battery in there, self and an auto bilge. You know, auto bilge, no mucking around here, having to put your own on. That's just garbage, you know, not with Quintrex. And storage everywhere. Why wouldn't you do storage? Look at that. Couple of compartments, poly molded. Dan's standing on more storage under the floor. You know, you could deck this out. Look at that, more storage, because you can tackle and stuff. Now these come with an 85 litre fuel tank, and you can put another secondary of 72. 85 litres in a 115, gets you out to deep Tempest or the banks twice, maybe more. Now, Quintrex, I've spoken about it. They got a full brochure. It's a beautiful colour brochure. And you know, if you go across onto page 57, Dan will freeze on it. It's all about the specs on the 530 and the 510 Frontier. Now, what we've got is the good seats that Quintrex do, ergonomics. Now, because this is an offshore fishing boat, so it's got this rail. Look at that. It's strong. That's the thing. I could drive standing up, because you have to do that when it gets big and use your legs, as you know. You know, I'm sitting down here, I've got this big Northern Territory bimini on that comes from Quintrex, a 703 Yamaha control box VHF. You know, Yamaha's gauges. What these are called, they're 2 land gauges. Gives you fuel management, tells you everything, batteries, trim and tilt, economy, just a wonderful thing. And with the low rents on that come out of the factory, this is Elite 9, you know, they're easy to use. And up the front, show up the front here, because all storage, you know, big bags of safety gear, tackle, you could get a small, actually you could get a pretty big person into there. I could hop in there, I have before, you know. And up the front here, you've got an anchor well, anchor hatch. And, you know, every painted boat gets washing gear. If you're buying a boat and it doesn't come with washing gear, well, you definitely didn't buy a Quintrex. Now up here, look at this, up here. Huge area. This is a 530 volts casting lures, jigging. I can be up here. You can stand on this. Look at that. How ingenious. I'm 110 kilos. Stand on top of the anchor. Awesome. And battery and hatches all over the place, you know. Now, I don't think we need to talk about much. Let's just get out there on the water and see how this goes, because if you can see my hair blowing in the breeze, it's howling a gale, and I want to show how this baby goes. So you want to know what these apex are like? 530 Frontier. Watch this. These things come up flat and they go. A real offshore boat, real fishermen, they're the future. If you're worried what that is, I caught that drone. Nearly chopped my arm off. I'm going to do this YouTube and then nip off to get some stitches. From a stop start, and now I put it down, flatten it, and it's up. And now I've backed off, and I'm trimming out a little bit. Whoa, 42 kilometers an hour at 5.3. Hopefully you can hear that. I'll tuck my shirt in. I'm doing 40 kilometers at 4.5. I'm using 19 litres, but we've just taken off. Now I'll trim it up just a little, and this thing's riding smooth and it's riding flat. Holy crackers, you know, I hope this can pick it up. I'll just wave it like this, side to side. Sits flat, very flat, more flatter than any other boat that I've ever been in. You know, it's like a ski boat, it's like it's on rails, but, oh, we've got some shags up here. I'll get a bit of speed up. What are we doing now? 50? 6.1 revs, 60 kilometres an hour. And how fast is it? Well, faster than a shag. Way faster. It's scooting along. 6.4, it's revving out beautiful. 65 kilometres an hour. And it's smooth and it's soft. I'll back it off. Got a test motor on this boat. It's awesome. It's like jellyfish soup out here. They're everywhere. I hate them. I don't like, oh, I'll just trim it in. Do you see what happened there? I'll just trim it in a little bit, because to take off, just pop it up onto that next wave. Right, now, we're basically riding on jellyfish. And look over, I'll trim it down, see this little shop. And I'll just work out how this boat rides best into that. It's only half a metre. Oh, I suppose some might be getting up to a metre. It's about 15 knots, gusting to 20 at times. There was only 2 boats in the boat ramp. A bloke with an old Clark abalone. Not a bad boat for their days, you know, but now you'd buy a Quinny all day, a Buster or something. And have a look at this hole going. Dan hasn't got a drop of water on him. I haven't. I'm sitting here comfortable. Now, if I wanted to stand up, I could just stand up and steer. Now, I'm 6'4", so nothing fits me, but this is comfortable, and I'm over. Now, in this little wave, I don't need to stand up because these things are soft. Look at that wave there. Watch this jump over the top of it. We got one little bit of spray there. Dan hates getting water in his hair, you know, but I'm telling you, well, there was a little bit of a bump. I sometimes like to trim these up, you know, and when you get 15 knots of wind and you're scooting along, I'm doing 45 kilometres an hour, and look at it, you know, we'd be across, we'd come out of the Caboolture River, I'd be at Tangalooma in half an hour, you know, and really, my wife would sit down at the back here, she'd still have a couple of shardies as we're going across. You know, she loves Chardonnay, especially French Chardonnay. Up here, I could easily be casting. If I saw a school of tuna out here, I could be hacking slugs out at it, winding them back, you know, and feeling safe. And that's the main thing about a Quintrex, safety. And with a Yamaha, they're extra safe because you'll always come back. You need a good trailer to get there, and you need a Yamaha to get back. And while you're riding in style, so we got a little wave, over a wave, and now I got it. And it comes up flat, over the top. And look at it. You can ring your mum, tell her, we'll be home on time, mum, because we're scooting. Look at that. I don't know if that drone can pick you up, but if your boat can't do that, well, you don't have a Quintrex, do you? Dry, soft, that's just remarkable. I just jog up to a wave, and I got it. And we're off, and we're up, and we're on top of those waves. And it's soft, and it's dry, and I'm sitting down, and I'm doing, I've lost my phone. I'm doing 50 kilometers, I'm doing bloody 55, I'm doing 5'8", and we are flying. Woohoo! Yoo-hoo! Let's go! Your kids are gonna love this boat. We're looking for a spot, we're searching with the sounder, looking for fish. Everyone's soft, everyone's dry. Oh, maybe we'll turn back. Now I'm turning on waves and I'm looking. It sits flat, it comes around, everyone's certain. Oh, I might do doughies in it. Hey, that's what you want. Half metre swell and you do doughies. These things are remarkable. You know, you've taken Grandma, she loves fishing. She's gone, take me out and get me some snapper. You've brought Grandma, but she's got a bad hip. You need a Quintrex, nice and soft, into a following sea. Let's go across the following sea, see if I can make a breach. Oh, look at that. Can you see that? Will your boat do that? Have you ever been in a bayliner? That's not going to do that. Have a look at that. If you can't ride across waves without it breaching, look, I'll turn in. Watch this. Turn back so you can see it. That's the freak show. There's nothing like these apex hulls. See that front into it? Look at it. Have a look at that. Now I'll see if I can do that same thing Like if you did that in a lot of boats, it'd start breaching, give you all sorts of trouble. But not this. Not one of these. Not an Apex, not a Frontier. In fact, no Quinny. Some of the old ones might have, you know, because they've been around for so long. There's always some story about someone with a boat. I go, in what year was that? Yeah, 1954, you know. Look at that. Do that in your boat and see what happens to everyone. Because nothing in this. Look at it. Look at that. Straight over. Dan's hanging on, but the eight's getting wet. Look at it, getting air. You know, I was just in the glove box here. It's got this massive glove box with all the keys, because all that storage is lockable. And this glove box, I just had one of the ham and pickle. Now, people will say to me, is it true you always have one ham and pickle sandwich a day? Well, in 2019, no, it's not true. I'm having two. The takeoff is just remarkable. It is so flat on its takeoff, just straight up. You could be in the flats and it's so stable. You know, it's a lovely boat to drive, and particularly with that hydraulic steering we put on it. It's light, it's very maneuverable, you know, and look at that. Look at this, watch. Hang on, Dan. Look at that. How fast am I going? I'm doing 4.8. I'm doing 45 kilometres an hour, right? And the thing's sitting flat in hard turns. Goodness knows what this would be like. Like the freestylers, you put a kid on a whip and I'll tell you, you got days of fun. I really think these are the boat of the future. I think its resale value will be enormous. And I really think you should have a look at one. You come in with a bit of speed, there's a little bit of current here. I'll trim up a little bit because it's flat. I line up at the back of the boat. I turn the boat, I hit that center, and I wait for it to center and roll up. Now, it's on an angle. So I turn the motor and I trim it up so we're not going to hit concrete because it's a terrible boat ramp. And now I straighten it and I push that boat up. Now, and it's straightening. So I turn the motor and that'll straighten it. Now bring it back flat and I drive it up the trailer. And I'm driving it up. And I just drive it up and I can hear it click on. And there it is. And guess what? I'm off. If you want to see what these Apex hulls are like, if you want to see what a freestyler goes like a 590 Frontier, an awesome boat is what that is. If you want to see, call the team at Brisbane Yamaha, 3888 1727, and we'll take you on a water test. And I hope I see you on the water.